Minute.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Leadership from the Heart. We're back, Elizabeth Riley.
It has been a hot minute, and I am so excited about this. Finally, right?
It's been a hot minute, probably a small act of Congress, and a few other mountains were moved to get you and I to really. And here's tech issues. I hit do. Sorry, everybody, that's done. We promise we'll get better at this. All right. So, leadership from the heart. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do for the next 30 minutes. We're going to talk about a little intro for those who may not have met myself or Elizabeth yet. We are going to talk about the origin story of leadership from the heart. What is leadership from the heart, and how does this crazy live broadcast come to fruition? We're going to give a little update of what's transpired for the last 2 years, almost to the date, Elizabeth, 2 years.
That's I
And
didn't even
we're going to talk about it is right, almost 2 years. Goals and intentions of leadership from the heart moving forward. So, for those who are following along with us, what can you expect? And then, as we wrap our 30 minutes together today, what are we wrapping with?
Man, I am excited about our announcement for our next guest. I am so I love we've had some amazing guests, but to really kick off, this person is going to be the perfect person to kick off leadership from the heart. So I can't wait for us to share.
So we're saving that nail biter for the
Sure.
last little bit before we round out. But so let's start. For those who haven't had a chance to meet us or have a chance to watch the show previously, Elizabeth, you want to share a little bit about yourself?
No, you get to go first.
Oh my goodness, friend.
I always make you go first.
You always make me go first. My name is Renee Funk. I'm a team leader in Orlando, Florida, real estate agent, and loving the real estate industry. The industry is a very interesting industry, to say the least. I am proud mom of two boys, and all together we're very focused on looking at those around us and asking ourselves, how can we continue to elevate everyone that is around us who may be seeking to say, hey, my hand's out and I want to continue to grow. That's a part of our passion, which is a little teaser to how we even started leadership from the heart in the first place.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's really actually fun to be back on here with you. Oh, love it. Okay. I'm Elizabeth Riley. I'm in Austin, Texas. I have the Lux Property Group here where I get to work alongside with three other amazing women. And I am the proud mom of four, two boys and two girls. So I'm a busy mama, but a very busy real estate agent and very blessed. Um, Getting to be able to share and help and pour into others, not only in the real estate world, but also our community, is something that I am extremely passionate about and excited that we get to do on a daily basis.
It makes it a whole lot of fun. The more we grow, the more we can give, right?
Absolutely. And yes, the market, as you like to say, is bananas. It's absolutely intense here in Austin, Texas. And bananas, I think, really sums it up. So we're just going to go forward with that from here on out.
Bananas. I won't even take credit for that. In full credit, that's a Tom Ferry saying. Tom
Well,
Ferry's all about the bananas. And so we say bananas. Now more than ever, incredibly important to partner with the best of the best in real estate
yes.
to make sure that you're powered by a ton of experience to navigate these waters, because the reality is, whether you're a buyer or a seller, you're going to need that kind of representation there. Okay, we'll get off the soapbox. Work with experience. So
Yeah, we could have a conversation about real estate one of these days, but that is not why we're here. We love talking about real estate. We talk about real estate all the time for others, in our businesses, with others, on the phone, clients, agents, it doesn't matter. But this is kind of our passion project
it
that's
is. So
out
the
of nowhere.
origin of leadership from the heart, which was almost 2 years to the day. Do you remember the date, Elizabeth Riley?
I think we're on a different page on that. I thought it was March 13th.
It was actually the 16th.
Okay. Potato,
We're
potato.
close.
Close.
We're
Yeah.
close.
Same
So
week.
so what exactly transpired on the second-ish week of March?
So I think it's one of those things where everybody will always remember where they were when the world shut down, right? When COVID was introduced, when shelter in place was introduced, lots of chaos, lots of fear, lots of pivoting, right? And uncertainty. And with uncertainty, people react. It was interesting to look. And I don't like to be reactive. I like to be more proactive. So I was definitely, we were out of our comfort zone. But what happened was people were reaching out to you, people were reaching out to me, and they were looking for answers. They were looking for security. They were looking for reassurance. And that's great usually because that's kind of the role that we have stepped into over the years. But we didn't know either. And so we had all this fear and uncertainty, and our families and our children and shelter in place and homeschooling. Who loves our teachers more than ever? Me, right? Absolutely. And so when people started reaching out to us, we didn't know, step in and find a solution, but we didn't know how to lead. We didn't know how to, we didn't have a solution. We didn't know how to lead in adversity, right? So when you're faced with a challenge, what does a leader do?
Well, this leader called my other leader friend, Elizabeth Riley. And there was a day where I was actually on a podcast recently talking through this day, what it was like when I called you, because in full transparency, I was having a really, really tough day, as so many of us were.
Yeah.
And I felt that pressure that I was putting on myself, that I became clouded and I forgot that it's okay to admit I didn't have all the answers, because none of us had led or been a part of an environment that would know how to even navigate in the first place in any way, whether it was as parents or in real estate with our agents, whatever it was, we were learning something new. So when I reached out to you that day, I admit I was crying because you're one of the few safe places I had, and I had some tears saying, what am I going to do? I need to really level up and be present for these agents and for those who are reaching out. And I am too scared and fearful of, will I mess up? And there are people counting on me. And you said, wait a minute, we have a ton of amazing leaders who pour into us. And we said, what are we going to do about it? And in that moment, it was, let's start having conversations with leaders.
Well, and I even think even before that, we thought of immediately our founder, because we were just looking at it from a real estate, from a business standpoint, right? We weren't looking at it from the whole picture. And so who do we look up to and respect so incredibly is Glenn Sanford, who's our founder. And so you and I just reached out, Glenn, can we have a conversation? There's a lot of people asking us questions. We don't know. We don't have the answers. And you might have some answers or better answers or different answers, or add some color that we might not be able to. Can we have a conversation? And so it just started as a Facebook Live conversation with our founder, who has over the years become a very good friend and somebody that we respect and look up to wholeheartedly, and just had an authentic, organic conversation, not scripted, not questions, just one thing after another. What do we do? How do we do it? What are some opportunities? What are some options? And from there, I know we were doing it for us, but so many people reached out to us because they needed that too. And then all of a sudden we're like, well, that was amazing. We have other amazing leaders that might have different opinions, different approaches. So we reached out to Jason Gessing, our CEO. We reached out to Randall Mills, our board of directors. We started reaching out to all these people, not meaning to create a podcast, just really trying to figure out how to lead in adversity is really what it was. We did not know how to lead in adversity. We had never been faced with anything like this. Nobody else had either. But when you start surrounding yourself with leaders, leaders lead leaders, right? You start collaborating, you start pouring into each other, you start lifting others where they are. It just organically grew into something bigger. And the cool thing about it was all these different leaders we really loved and respected in the industry and outside the industry started saying yes
Mm.
to us. And you
Well,
remember,
Elizabeth, we only received one no, which we won't disclose yet because it wasn't a no, it was a not yet. And I really truly believe this person will come back and be a guest.
he
But
will.
we received all yeses, which was what then transpired. The next part of what was so incredible is that you and I started doing a show 5 days a week, every single weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1
Right?
p.m. Central. And we had so many yeses that we said, okay, we'll do it every day. And we did it every day for months.
It was awesome. I actually looked forward to it, right? Because I couldn't wait to hear, well, I get to see you. And I couldn't wait to hear what our guest was going to share with us because we started talking about leading in adversity. We started talking about how do you lead in all areas of your life? How do you lead with the unknown? How do you lead in the current environment? And I don't remember who said it. I don't know if it was Brad Inman or maybe it was Lee Cockrell. One of them said, because we asked, why did you say yes? They
It
said,
was
because we're sitting in our house. We have nothing better to do. We want to see some people. So we were getting all these yeses just because they were all stuck in their house too. They're
it
all
was
stuck.
it was Lee. Well, Lee Cockrell, former vice president of Walt Disney World, said yes. And actually what Lee said, I had reached out to him on LinkedIn, we're connected. And he said, I said yes because you asked.
Yeah. We got a lot of that too, which
And
is
which should all give
humbling.
us goosebumps. Like as a mom, I talk to my kids about this often about the answer is always no if you never ask.
Right.
And how much can we achieve and grow and learn when we presume the answer is yes? It might be no, but that's okay. No is oftentimes not yet. You're not ready yet for the
We just have to get
opportunity.
out of our heads.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we had some I mean, all of our guests were incredible, but it was really geared around selfishly originally was help us be better leaders. Of
Right.
course, you and I, our vow with that was that we would pour in what we learned to others. And then we said, well, we might as well record it and share it. And so that is a bit of the origin of Leadership from the Heart, which brings us to our next little bit to talk about is what has transpired the last 2 years, because we have not been consistent the last year. We haven't been on. And it's been tough.
Had good intentions. We've had
It's been tough to hold it together, but we're back.
we're back.
So what has transpired over the last 2 years? Because a lot had, well, we did Leadership from the Heart for about a year. We took about a year off. So what, I think it would be wise for us to share, like, what's one of your biggest lessons that you've learned, especially over the last year?
I've learned that I don't have to have the answers. I learned that I'm always learning how to lead, right? It's not perfection, it's progress.
Mm.
It's about taking in everything around you. I've become a lot more aware and appreciative and grateful of my surroundings and those that are around me and what I have at my fingertips. And I've really learned and embraced the fact that I love, and I talk to you about this all the time. I love that we're lifting others as we climb,
Mm.
right? Because people were looking at us and reaching out to us that I never saw myself really as a leader, if I'm being completely transparent, right? I mean, in that way, in our small groups and in our organizations and things like that, yes, but I was able to step up and learn from others and pour in and lean in and become a better leader because of me just being a better student,
Mm.
you know? So we don't want to wish the last 2 years on anybody, but there was so much good that actually came out of it. I think with families and with relationships and with business, and I'm grateful for that piece of it.
I love that you remind me and everyone all the time about really continue to lift others as you climb. I mean, that's what it's about. Is Jeff and I have always felt that we couldn't possibly give back to the mentors who pour into us, and all of which have been on the show, and those who haven't been on the show yet, right? These mentors that pour into us in our business, in our life, in our professional and personal development, and even influence, me striving to be the best parent I can be. There's no way we can really truly pay them back.
No.
And I always want to make sure that I'm stating it to everyone around me, to the world, to God, to everyone. Like, my vow is that I will continue to share every ounce of it openly with everyone who's around, who is interested in seeking out more information to continue to grow themselves. And that is lifting others as you climb. And that is what I feel I can contribute at the highest level, is just gratitude that those who are pouring into us, I promise I'm going to continue to pour that into others with no filter, good, bad, ugly.
Right.
Circus act at moments, and complete success and achieving the next level of greatness at moments. It's going to be all of it shared, is really how we've navigated the last few years of our life. You're a great
Well,
deal of that, by the way, friend.
well, you are too. We can't pay them back. You're absolutely right, but we can pay it forward,
Mm,
right? In our own authentic self. That's the other thing, is getting out of our head. I'm me. You're you. We're going to add value in people's lives that we don't even know, just as others pour into us in ways that they don't even know. And so that's the other thing. It's just like, okay, we just need to be ourselves. I can't worry about trying to be somebody else. So I have loved all the podcast series we've had with all the different leaders, because they lead so differently, and so authentically and boldly, right? And it makes me want to be a bolder leader. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited we're back. I know we have some really cool people lined up over the coming months.
we
Um,
do. We sure do.
yeah,
We're
um,
not at the announcement
we're
yet.
not
For
there
those who
yet.
are watching, we have more watching now than we started at the top of the hour. We're going to make a big announcement here shortly, but we're not quite there. We
We're
still
not
have a couple items on our agenda. The next one was, what are the goals and intentions of Leadership from the Heart? What you and I are committing to moving forward, and what those who are going to come on the journey and watch us and be a part of the conversations we share, what can they expect?
Well, I love that you keep us organized and on schedule, because obviously that is not my strength. Because I'm like, okay, let's talk about everything. Um,
I think at this point, though, friend, we can both admit we have two powerhouse, amazing assistants powering us
yes,
to make all this happen.
yes, that's the
Jen,
other thing. We
thank you
can't
to Jen.
and Daryl.
Thank you
We
to
can't do
Daryl.
this on our own. We learned that quickly. So, by the way,
We're
success.
getting smarter.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to be by yourself. Success is not achieved alone. So, Jen and Daryl are huge reminders of that. Um, a lot coming up. So we are back. We are committed. We are excited. We are going to be coming to you live once a month, last Thursday of the month at, this is where I always mess up because of the time zones, at 2
Just say,
p.m. Hmm?
yep, you're right.
2
Go ahead.
Eastern, right? 1 p.m. Central. And we are going to have amazing guests from all industries, real estate, outside of real estate. It doesn't matter what the industry is. There are leaders everywhere you look. And that was very apparent when we would have our guests come on. And so we have some great people that we are, I mean, everybody's busy, but we're going to always ask.
Yep.
The answer might be not yet, but we won't give up. And also, if there are people, I mean, we've got a great following. If there are people that you think we need to know and bring on this show that are great leaders, we would love to know them. So,
Drop it in comments. We're actively seeking leaders throughout any industry. It's about leading with the heart. It's about leading from care and authenticity, and really looking to uplift those around you. And that encompasses any industry. Of course, you and I are both realtors. I'm in Orlando. You're in Austin. We
Austin,
have agents all over. We got that down, and we will have some real estate conversations on this show, no doubt.
yeah.
But ultimately, for Leadership from the Heart and the conversations we're going to share, um, I believe a part of our attention is that North Star of how can we help uplift others, It is still trying times for so many right now. And we are still all, I believe, navigating things that we haven't navigated before. So I think although it's different now than it was almost 2 years ago when we first launched Leadership from the Heart, I do believe that the need is ever present for us to continue to lean in and remind ourselves at all time. We may not have all the answers, but when we strip the fear out of the equation and know that we can lead because we're surrounded by so many that will help each other through times of adversity and times of amazing success, that's what it's all about. So drop a comment in for guests you'd like to see on the show, or shoot us a DM or reach out to us individually. We will be once a month on Leadership from the Heart. You'll be able to find us on Facebook and LinkedIn and all the channels.
And YouTube, all of it. Yeah.
So here we are. And then we're a little early. Oh, Gladys just said Tosca Musk. Oh, I'm gonna put it up. Gladys said Tosca Musk.
Hey.
Love it. Keep the ideas coming. We have a few guests that are lined up, but I think it's time. Can we share who is our amazing? I'm giddy. I'm totally giddy about our first guest. I want to make sure I'm looking at the exact date and time. So Elizabeth Riley, on March 31st.
Yeah.
At 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central.
Oh my gosh.
Any guesses?
There's no way they're going to guess it.
Gladys says, hi, beautiful ladies. Thanks for all you do. Oh my goodness, Gladys. We're grateful for you to be here and watch.
I got to meet Gladys face to face in Dallas not too long ago. It was so fun. It's just, instant family. You all hug and it's like no time has ever passed. So it's awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited. A little bit of color on this one. I had never met this individual before, and I had an opportunity in a mastermind actually in January. Golly, that was flown by. We're already in March. I actually had an opportunity to meet him, and I was already impressed with his credentials from what I knew, and especially he has a very impressive lineage, if you will. He comes from a very, very strong family of leaders, but I did not expect such awesomeness in such a different way, right? I mean, we'll tell you who it is in a minute, but this is somebody who grew up in the shadow, if you will, of a very, very influential, very well-known,
prominent,
successful leader. And I think that could really be intimidating, quite frankly. And
I think that's one of the questions we're going to ask this.
Yeah, we're going to ask him. I mean, I can't wait to dig into this, but he grew up in the shadow of this person. What's amazing is he didn't grow up in the shadow. He took that and he learned from it, and he's his own person. He has similarities, but he leads in a very different way. I assumed he was going to lead like his father, right? Never assume. You never know. Just go in eyes wide open and say, okay, what am I going to learn today? Because I just assumed, oh, okay, this is great. He's going to be like his father. He is nothing like his father, in my opinion, but just as powerful, just as impactful.
He's a best-selling author.
Yep.
He is the founder of the business performance coaching platform. He is, of course, a keynote speaker.
Of course.
He is a powerhouse.
He's a powerhouse.
Great mindset. And really, quite frankly, when I think of leading from the heart, everything I've had a chance to get to know in my research, because I haven't met this person yet. You met him first, but everything shows that he's a perfect example of leadership from the heart.
The passion is infectious, right? When you meet him, you're going to get to know that. But I got to meet him, and I got to spend some time with him and get to know him a little bit. I mean, I had so much takeaway from that it's probably not even scratching the surface. So I cannot wait for us to dig in. But he's also the new president. He was just named as the president for Success, which is huge. If you know about Success, it's a company that's been around for 125 years. Incredible leaders have been showcased on the magazine, in the magazine, speaking on behalf of the magazine. I mean, it is incredible from every walk of life.
So any guesses to those watching? Now that you just gave away a big nugget, president of Success, powerhouse in the industry of coaching, keynote speaker, best-selling author. Okay, Elizabeth, do the honors.
They're not going to know. The one and only Jarek Robbins is going to be our guest on March 31st. Y'all, Jarek Robbins' father is Tony Robbins. So many of you know who Tony Robbins is. And I assumed he was going to be just like him, and he's not. But he's so powerful. So yes, Jarek Robbins is going to be our guest. We are so excited, and we are so honored that he was an immediate yes. He didn't even hesitate. So you want to talk about some incredible nuggets that we're going to all take away from that. I just cannot wait. I hope everybody comes back and is engaged with us and has some, if there's some questions you'd like us to ask, we will certainly try to do that. But Jarek is going to be the perfect person to kickstart Leadership from the Heart in 2022.
He sure is. And I'm so grateful that he's going to share time with us. Of course, those following Leadership from the Heart, just stay tuned to the live video. You will receive notifications. Of course, we'll drop it in comments here, but I agree. I'd love for everyone to drop comments in on whichever platform you are following and let us know what questions would you like us to ask Jarek, and what questions should we make sure that we cover in our conversation. I'm fired up. I'm so incredibly excited to have Leadership from the Heart back once a month. We got it down. We're back. We're going to do this. Elizabeth, I'm grateful, friend.
I'm grateful, and I wouldn't want to do this with anybody but you. So I'm so glad that this accidentally happened and that we kind of went on faith.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny, hindsight's 2020. Obviously, we can look back and go, wow, that was really cool. But we had no idea where this would lead. And it truly came from a place of need.
Yeah.
There's no ulterior motive. There was no intention to start a podcast. It was just, let's ask some questions and let's just see where that goes. So I'm extremely grateful for you. I'm extremely grateful for all the leaders that we've had on, and I'm excited for the leaders we're going to have on soon in the coming months.
I am as well. So stay tuned. So much more to come. And so we will see everyone back on March 31st, 2 p.m. Eastern, with the one and only Jarek Robbins. All right, Elizabeth Riley, as always, it's a pleasure. I will see you soon in person in just a few days.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Yes, that will be fun. We can mastermind. We have to promise each other that we're not going to work the whole time, because we tend to do that. We brainstorm and we come up with ideas, and so we're going to actually put the brakes on for a little bit. Can you promise me that?
I can promise you that.
Okay.
It's a family trip.
Yeah, it's a family spring break trip. So hold me to that as well.
I will. Funks and Rileys unite.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for following along. Thank you for joining us today and giving us this time to share about what's next, where we've been, where we're going. And hold on, we're going to have a lot of fun and hopefully continue to focus on bringing a lot of value. Make it a great day, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, friend.